No, not one more. Stand up every
Does it say week 21?
22. It says 21.
It says 21, but it's supposed to say 22.
Supposed to read 22. I apologize. The first typo I have ever made in this class since this class has started ever in history. From the beginning of time. Ever. At all. Guys, let's go ahead and get started. Today, remember, you guys are with me, right? So today we're going to finish Salat al-Qadasi. How many parts are there in Qadasi? 3. What are the 3 parts? That's what we're doing. It's not the intro, JJ. Yes sir. Preparatory, Somebody else, That one in the back. Like, email it to me. Anybody else? I'm sorry, Order of literature or Salat al-Qadasi. What else? And then the last part is Fariq al-Qadasi, right? If you guys read last week notes, it says fire al-Qadasi. I was trying to say Fariq al-Qadasi. It's not fire. Liturgy is on fire. No, that's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to say Fariq al-Qadasi. Fariq al-Qadasi. Okay. Last week, if you guys remember, we went all the way to Tansu al-Alud, right? The first part of Tansu al-Alud. That's how far we got from the beginning until Tansu. Today, we're going to finish Salat al-Qadasi. Unfortunately, we're not going to have enough time to see everything that we wanted to see. We're going to be jumping around a lot. We're not going to see most of the things I was hoping to see for. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. So after the main deacon says Tansu'u, there's some prayers that happen. How many deacons are there, by the way? How many deacons? Usually for most cases. There are 3 deacons. How many priests? 2 priests. You know why we do that? It's not in the notes. Why do we do that? Not 5 minutes. It has to be it. That's the only 5 I know. What other 5 are we kind of aware of?
5 offerings.
Not quite. I wish I had a Bible on me.
One of them?
I believe it's in Matthew chapter 17 when we learn about transfiguration. What's transfiguration? I'm not talking about the Holy Communion. It's transfigures to the actual. No, that's not what I'm talking about. What is this transfiguration in terms of one of the 9 major holidays of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church? Very important stuff. Let me talk about the transfiguration, not a. I'm hearing stuff. That I need an answer. Huh? You said something? You said what? Jabal Tabor. When he went to the mountain of Tabor, and he, and then he took 3 of his disciples with him. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? He took 3 of his disciples with him to the mountain, and then he transfigured himself, and he allowed them to see his divinity. You guys know the story that I'm talking about? If you don't, please read your Bible. So then he takes them to the mountain, he transfigures himself. It says it was a huge light, and everybody got to see him, right? You know, around the time of Buhe, that's when, yeah. So the whole tradition actually started from transfiguration. I'm not gonna get into that because that's not the lesson of today. We actually have a lot of stuff to review. But what you need to know is on that transfiguration, he took 3 disciples with him. How many disciples did he say? 3. When he took them with Christ, 2 other people appeared before them. Who were the other 2? Moses and Elijah from the Old Testament. So we have Moses and Elijah from the Old Testament, and then we have 3 disciples from the New Testament. Moses and Elijah symbolize the 2 priests that are being used during liturgy. The 3 disciples symbolize the 3 deacons, and of course Christ is always present when we do liturgy. But that we're not, you know, that's not in the notes, and we're not learning about that. But the point that I wanted to raise is there's 3 deacons that are there, and 2 of the deacons play a major role within the service. One is the chief deacon, and the second is the assistant deacon. In the priest, there's chief priest and there's assistant priest. So now the point that I wanted to make is the assistant deacon says and then he says a bezema, right? He says a bezema, and then we respond back by saying talakaf. Everybody say that part. Bezema. Assistant deacon is saying is pray for them who bring an oblation or an offering. So when we come to the church, notice we're not coming empty-handed. We're coming with a gift, with some type of offering that we're giving to Christ. What type of offerings do we bring on Sunday? Go ahead. Money, okay, could be one of it, but I'm looking for something else. Yeah. Yeah, okay, what else? I'm talking about the stuff from last week. What are the 5 offerings that we bring? The body, right? We bring our own body is when we submit ourselves to liturgy. Physically and mentally, we're giving time. We're offering our body, right? Physically, we have to stand there, we're tired. That is an offering. What else? The prayer, time, energy, all these things that we're offering, that's what we're giving to God. So what the deacon is saying, yes, tawaf is there, yes, money is there, but more than anything, God wants your heart. The money means nothing. We've never given him our hearts, right? So we're saying, please accept the offering of my heart, accept the offering of my body, accept the offering of my time. And then we say, tawakaf, if it's during baptism, if you guys ever heard, when they say this part, they say that's how we end, because they're not doing liturgy during baptism. They say but if it's during liturgy, they say you see. So above all of the offerings that I'm giving you, please also accept meaning also the holy bread and holy wine that we're offering. Please accept that. If it's during baptism, we say this prayer that we're doing for liturgy, accept it. You see? So during liturgy, we should never come empty-handed. You're always coming with something, whether that's tawaf, money, whatever. That's very important, but those are secondary. The primary thing is I should come with the offering of my heart, ready to give my entire body to God. Then the deacon says, this is the order of our fathers. This is the main deacon. So by the way, I'm skipping around. I'm jumping. I can't put everything. This is the order of our fathers, apostles. Let no one keep in his heart malice or revenge or envy or hatred towards his neighbor or towards any other body. So the deacon says it, and he says it. And then you guys say. So worship the Lord with fear is what the deacon says. Sigadu. First of all, it's not sigadu. It's not siga, it's sigud. Sigadu. ለእግዚአብሔር በፍርሃት. Sigadu. ለእግዚአብሔር በፍርሃት. What do we mean? Why are we afraid of the Lord? Why do we fear God, right? So we talked about this last week when we say sigadu. By the way, the word sigadu in Amharic means what? Worship. It means worship. When you look at the translation, Abraham bowed down and worshiped, right? If you look at the later translations, they don't want to show how, for example, in Genesis chapter 19, Lot bowed down and received the angels. That's what it says, Genesis chapter 19. What happened in Genesis 19? Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed. The two angels were sent to destroy the city, right? It says two angels were sent, and then Lot bowed down with his head to the ground and received the angels. If you look at the later translations, it says he worshipped. Why do you think it says that? They don't want to show that we have to bow down to angels. You see? So they changed the word. But the actual translation of worship is meskel. But of course, the type of worship we're talking about for angels and the type of worship we're talking about for God is completely different. So we say Segudu. This time we're talking about God, so it's the ultimate worship that we give for God the Father. Does that make sense? Alright, so we bow down. For whom? For the Lord. With what? With fear. My question is, why are we afraid? Why do we do it with fear? As we talked about it last week, when we bow down, we do it in fear, not because we're scared, but because we love Him and we respect Him. It's the type of love that one would have, or a husband would have for his wife. It's the type of fear that the wife has for her husband. It's the type of love that we should have for one another out of respect. Not the type of fear that we would have for one, let's say if you're on a roller coaster. You're like, oh, right? You shouldn't be thinking about God like, oh my God, literally. You know what I'm saying? So in this sense, we talk about fear out of respect and reverence. But before even the deacon says, Segudu, he says something very powerful. He says, this is the order of our fathers, the apostles. Let no one keep in his heart malice or revenge or envy or hatred towards his neighbor or towards any other body. In essence, he's saying, if you guys are arguing with anyone, if you guys are fighting with anyone, if you guys are angry at anyone, forgive them now. Let no one have these feelings inside of them and come to liturgy. Because the Bible says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 23, very clearly, therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go your way. First, be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Remember, we just said, when the assistant deacon says, we say, accept our offering. Right? So accept our offering. But how can God accept our offering if we're angry at our brothers, if we're angry at our sisters, if we're angry at each other? How can God ever accept our offerings? So the first thing that we have to do is leave that offering and then go make peace. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Now something, if you guys do Kadase with me, you know. If you don't, then you're gonna learn. When the deacon said, everybody bows down. Everybody bows down. The first Segudu is not for us. It's not for us. It's for them. ስገዱ ለእግዚአብሔር በፍርሃት and then we say ቅድሜከ እግዚኦ ንሰግድ ወነሴብሐከ, right? When we say ንሰግድ, I'm saying I bow down. So we're supposed to bow down as we say the words ንሰግድ ወነሴብሐከ. Does that make sense? So first the deacon comes out and he announces to the congregation ስግዱ, right? ለእግዚአብሔር በፍርሃት. And then we say ቅድሜከ in front of your face. ቅድሜከ እግዚኦ ምንድን ነው? እግዚኦ ንሰግድ ወነሴብሐከ, right? In front of your face, I bow down and I worship you. ወነሴብሐከ, and I worship you. You see? So we bow down as we say ንሰግድ ወነሴብሐከ. Now when the deacon announces it, it's one of those things that hurt me. But now that you guys know, you know when the right time to bow down is. Always makes me laugh. And if you guys don't believe me, next time when the deacon says Sigadu, don't look at everybody else. Look at the guy in the front. His name is Lika Mazamran. He's the leader of like all Qaddas. He's like a scholar of the church. He's the only one that kind of stands around. He looks like these people will never get it. You know what I mean? So if you just follow him, you'll be fine. You'll be good to go. So now we are bowing down. There's several prayers that happen. Unfortunately, we can't look at all of them, but I just wanted to mention one. The deacon, the main deacon, usually if the deacon is not there, the priest can do it, or even the bishop can do it. It's called the prayer of supplication. The prayer of supplication. So it's the prayer of intercedence, right? It's the prayer of when we say we beseech on behalf of X, Y, Z. It's a plea towards God about our faith, congregation, patience of soul, holy prophets, apostles, martyrs, clergy, amongst many things. Let's see if I can find it. For example, during liturgy, the deacon would stand up and say, as we were bowing down, you guys know what I'm talking about. አንድ ስለምታደርግ ስጋውና ደሙ እግዚአብሔር በይቅርታው አንድ ያደረገን ዘንድ ሰላምን እንማልዳለን. And then we say, what do we say? So that's what people say, but that's not the right thing to say. That's what people say, but that's not the right thing. I used to say the same. Amen. But that's not the right thing to say. First of all, please don't do it in that pitch. Secondly, and the most important thing, here's what it is. What does Kyrie eleison mean? What does it mean? It means እግዚኦ ተሳሃለነ in a different language. So we're saying Amen እግዚኦ ተሳሃለነ እግዚኦ ተሳሃለነ Amen እግዚኦ ተሳሃለነ እግዚኦ ተሳሃለነ. That's what we're saying though. So well, it's redundant, right? It's because people really didn't understand. But if you read, we're supposed to say Amen Kyrie eleison, right? Secondly, it's not Kyrie eleison, it's Kyrie eleison. It's a huge difference. It's a Greek word. It's not good as word. So we say Amen Kyrie eleison, Amen Kyrie eleison after each one, right? So then the deacon will say እግዚአብሔር እሱን ሃይማኖት በንጹህ እንድንጠብቅ ይሰጠን ዘንድ ስለ ሃይማኖታችን እንማልዳለን። እስከ ፍጻሜያችን ድረስ እግዚአብሔር በመንፈስ ቅዱስ አንድነትን ይጠብቀን ዘንድ ስለ አንድነታችን እንማልዳለን። You see, that's how it goes, and it's a very long. Unfortunately, I think it's because we press for time. The deacon like speeds through this, and you try to get the Kyrie eleison right in there at the right time, but you can't. But he goes too fast. Go home and read it. It's a beautiful prayer. Yeah. Amen. Kyrie eleison. Kyrie eleison. So the spelling is very clear. It's Kyrie-eleison. Kyrie eleison. It's not Kira. No. Yeah. Prayer of supplication. Prayer of supplication. Prayer of supplication. Yeah. You know the thing is, I can't hear you. The reason why it's not Kira eleison, by the way, I can never find it. But as one priest told me, Kira laison. So it's a Greek word. Unlike English words, unlike if I say forgive me, is it masculine or feminine? It's feminine to ask forgiveness. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying, is the word itself feminine or masculine? Neutral, right? Forgive me. You got a belly. Is that masculine or feminine? You got a belly. People like, okay, carry the 2, divide by 3. You got a belly. Is it masculine or feminine? Huh? Masculine. You got a brain. What is it? Female, right? Just like that, in Greek, they have masculine and feminine verbs. Are you guys with me? Kira laison is the feminine form of Kyrie eleison. So all this time, everybody's saying, and God is like, That's why we haven't been forgiven. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta but if you go to a priest who knows Greek and then you say Kyrie eleison, like one time I was talking to this other priest like in England or whatever, and then he said Kyrie eleison. And he said repeat after me. And I said Kyrie eleison. He was like, oh, you speak Greek? I was like, no, not at all. That's the only thing. So that people know it, but they're afraid to say it because people have just gotten used to it. That's the problem. But the priests who have learned Greek, don't say it to people. Don't try to argue with people who don't know Greek. Because they're going to be like, no, it's Kyrie eleison. My dad told me, his dad told him, and his dad told him. So don't argue with people, but try to say it the right way. If enough people say it, I believe that we will finally correct this mistake. But it's Kyrie eleison, yes. Prayer of supplication. Yes. Because it's getting used to it. So like people just got used to it, and then I don't know if you look at this book, it says, are you guys listening? She said, but is it one deacon always holding the mic saying Amen Kyrie eleison exuotas hallelujah? Doesn't the deacon say Amen Kyrie eleison exuotas hallelujah? Yes, he does. And actually, even if you read this book, it says በምዕራፉ አሜን ኪርያ ላይሶን አቤቱ ይቅር በለን በሉ. That's the instruction. If you read the older version of the Qaddas Maz'af, it just says Amen Kyrie eleison belu. So over time things are changing, so people adapt to it. That's the thing. I'm trying to go back to the way it was. Alright. So once the prayer is over, the main deacon stands up and says Tansu Lazalot. We say exuotas hallelujah. The main priest says Salam lakum. We all say Muslim and Fasika. And then we proceed to the session which says Nisgid. We don't have time to review everything. I'm going to jump around. After we say Nisgid and after the prayer of supplication, we have the first of the 7 processions. Please listen carefully. We have the first of the 7 processions. What are processions, you say? I'll tell you. I say. Processions are the form of when clergy, I don't want to say circle because it's a 4-sided altar. So I don't know what you say. They go around the altar 7 times. That's what we refer to as procession. Not in order. They're not like just marching. In different parts of liturgy, they go around the altar 7 times. We don't notice it because we're outside. They do it inside. Here's my point. When the procession is taking place, the one leading the bunch who are doing the procession is the assistant deacon holding a light. Listen carefully. The assistant deacon holding a light is leading the group who's doing the procession. Makes sense? Behind the assistant deacon is the assistant priest. The assistant priest is following the assistant deacon. Behind the assistant priest is the chief deacon. And they go around the altar 7 times. Okay, let's review that again. Some people are confused. The first one leading is who? Assistant. It's the assistant one. It's the assistant deacon holding tawaf. tawaf is like a form of a candle. He leads the procession. Who is behind him? Who is behind him? Assistant priest. Behind the assistant priest is the chief deacon, right? Here's the symbolism. And how many times do they go around? Seven. Huh? I'll get to that. More than bottom men.
With the walls of Jericho?
I had like a whole speech ready. I was practicing last night. Alright. The main deacon holding the light is symbolic of John the Baptist. John the Baptist. Why? Because we were introduced to John the Baptist before we were introduced to Christ. In the Bible, we're told that John the Baptist is light. John chapter 5 verse 35, it says, he, meaning John, and Christ is saying this, he was the burning and shining lamp, and you are willing for a time to rejoice in his light. So since John the Baptist was preaching, and since the word of God is light, and since he was there before Christ, the assistant deacon holding the light, or the tawaf, is symbolic of whom? John the Baptist. Then who followed John the Baptist? Who came after John the Baptist? Jesus. So the assistant priest is symbolic of the priest, or of Christ. Why? Because he came after John the Baptist. Behind him is another deacon, right? The chief deacon. The chief deacon is symbolic of Saint Stephen, because Saint Stephen came after whom? After Christ. You see how that works? You ready? Okay. Don't worry about it, man. So we have John the Baptist. We have John the Baptist leading the pack, and then behind him is the assistant priest, and behind the assistant priest is the chief deacon. Welcome. Now I gotta call nobody out. Welcome. Come to the front. Say hi to the class. No, not at all. Get comfortable. Girl cap. Can we get the camera? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's probably, I don't know. I have no idea. I was gonna say he's busy. I don't know. Like I have no idea. Them funny. Alright. Why do they go around the altar 7 times? Because as we read the book of Jericho, are you guys listening to me at all? Somewhat, a little bit. There was the wall of Jericho, and the wall of Jericho was huge, enormous, right? Huge. So it was so big that people used to live in between the walls. Like the thickness was like a house, basically. That's how big the wall of Jericho is. To understand what the wall of Jericho is, it was a wall that they surrounded their city with, right? It was a way to protect themselves from the enemy. So when enemy came, they had to go across the wall, and in order to go across the wall, it's very, energy, time consuming. By the time you climb the wall, get back down, you're out of energy, and on the other side, there's a whole bunch of soldiers ready to take you down. So it's very beneficial. If you guys understand the character of Jericho, right? Or I'm sorry, Joshua. Joshua's the one who led the Israelites, who God guided in order to destroy this wall of Jericho. So if you understand the character of Joshua, Joshua is like, in a lot of ways, he's like Peter, right? Like, let's do this now. Let's do this. Let's go. That's how Joshua is. Okay? Moses was also kind of angry, but he was a little bit calmer. He was older and all this stuff. Joshua's very military-minded, like ready to do action. So here they are. For 40 years, they're wandering in the desert. Finally, it's the time to enter into the promised land. But the only thing holding them back is this wall. How are they going to destroy it? How are they going to beat it, right? God tells them, what I want you to do is just go around the wall of Jericho. Just go around it. How many times? 7 times. 7 is a full number. So they go around the wall of Jericho, and they blow on their trumpet, and the wall breaks down. You see what I'm saying? It falls down to the ground, and then they beat the wall of Jericho. Read the book of Joshua, right? This is the famous wall of Jericho. Everybody should know about the story. So, going back to liturgy, the reason why our clergy go around the altar 7 times is so that God can help us destroy the wall of sin that we have built. You see? They going around the altar is symbolic of saying, we have built a wall so thick, so high, so strong that only you can destroy it. And it's not up to us, but we're going to follow whatever you've told the Israelites to do. So we will continue to go around this altar 7 times so you destroy the wall of sin for us. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Alright. So, there's the first procession, and then of course there's 6 more after that throughout liturgy. Shortly after the processions, and we've said Niskid, we've said all that stuff, the first of the many readings are conducted. Listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. The first reading is conducted by the chief deacon. The first reading is conducted by whom? By whom? The chief deacon. Are you guys paying attention? The chief deacon. Have a seat. There's seats everywhere. There's one seat over there. There's one somewhere else. Now, he gets some password. Only for today. Don't like kick her though. So here's what it is. The first of the many readings are conducted. The first prayer is done by whom? The chief deacon. The chief deacon faces faces the west, okay? Any Orthodox water church you go to, any Orthodox water church should, I don't know if it actually is, but it should face east. It should face east. Each Orthodox water church should face east. Are you guys with me? East is which direction for us? This way. That's why we're all standing this way, right? Like during liturgies, these people on the side, they're confused. They're like, but the thing is, we should be facing which direction? East. If you notice, the chief deacon, whenever the first reading is conducted, he faces us, meaning which direction is he facing? West. If he's facing this way, and this is east, this is west. So, the first deacon always reads from the Pauline or the Pauline epistles. One of the 14 epistles that Paul wrote.